to him in several classes, and um, and the teachers would look always surprised because they would see us together on the campus, and but they nobody said anything. Nobody asked me anything, and I guess he told people, "Oh no, I just." And she's the first person I met in that class, and she was so nice, and she's such a good student, and I thought I better sit next to her because I could learn something.
And where was this, Vivi? This was at
Uh,
University of Michigan?
what did you say?
Where was this? At University of
The
Michigan?
University of Michigan. And that was the thing that was so interesting because back in those days, um, if a person wanted to take a particular course, if somebody in their fraternity or that they knew wasn't taking that course, they would ask about the teacher, and so many of them just wouldn't go to everybody, just to find out what they were teachers. But usually in the foreign languages, you got all races of teachers, and that's where you met more people, more races. And there was a lot of racism at Michigan, a lot of it. And people were very open about it. And there were some people who had never even seen a black person, lived so far up north, up in Canada and all up there. They'd never seen any black people. And it was an interesting experience because the more intelligent the people were, the nicer they were, because they had always had other impressions. And when they got to know somebody, and the best example was Evelyn Douglas. You remember Evelyn? Evelyn was very dark. Her mother knew how to sew like Mama did.
Mm-hmm.
And she dressed her, she was the only child. Her father finished University of Michigan years ago. He was an older person, and he was a dentist, and so he had an office. He made a lot of money because he had personality, and he had every black person, I guess, around. There were such a few professional men. The doctors were good. Spiegel was a doctor, and Spiegel had more white patients than he did black. And so it was an interesting time when people were just beginning to learn that there are different races of people, and not only did they have blacks, they had Chinese and Japanese and all races at the University of Michigan. It was the nicest place to be.
Do you have fond memories? Do you, when you think back about the University of Michigan, do you have fond memories?
Oh, yes, definitely. There's so many people I knew, and so many people, so many times when the professors would stop and talk with me, see me on the campus, and they were always so interesting and so interested in me, and in my life and that sort of thing. I met some of the best friends I had.
And this was in the 1930s, right?
That's right.
The 1930s, that's right. Because you
So
graduated undergraduate from Michigan in 1932, and then you got your master's degree in 1933.
that's right. Yeah, and got the job in 1933.
Yeah.
Part of 1933, and the the faculty, the people were all white. I was the first black teacher in high school in Michigan.
Yeah.
I guess because all of them were white,
Yeah.
and it was so interesting because the woman, I guess the lady who I guess it must have been the man whom I married. Yes,
Spiegel?
Spiegel's mother was white.
No.